morning on the 19th of September, our army set out from Claymore's Cove. Down in Georgia, down by the Chickamauga, and I knew that the fighting was gonna be close. Down by the Chickamauga, by the Chickamauga, down by the Chickamauga, we saw our boys laying in rows. For 2 long days we heard the sound of cannonballs tearing through the trees like a summer rain. For 3 long days we heard the sound of rifle fire making our men scream out in pain. Down by the Chickamauga, by the Chickamauga, down by the Chickamauga, we saw our boys laying in rows. Now when the smoke cleared, there was thousands laying dead. The river ran red with the blood of the brave. Brother fought by my side, and I was there when he died, the day we made our stand at Snodgrass Hill. Down by the Chickamauga, by the Chickamauga, down by the Chickamauga, we saw our boys laying in rows. Talking biscuit boy proud. Static crackles like a rattlesnake's tail. Voices rolling like a freight train wail. Cornbread Man, biscuit boy, talking live love and southern joy. Cornbread Man, biscuit boy, raise your glass, make some noise. Gravy drips in the southern drawl. Stories thick like the cypress tall. Radio rebels riding wild and free, shouting truths like a storm at sea. Hey, hey, can you feel that beat? Boots on the floor, fire in the heat. Cornbread Man, biscuit boy, talking live love and southern joy. Cornbread Man, biscuit boy, raise your glass, make some noise. Tells the dirt roads, whiskey skies that cut through the night like fireflies.
porch on a Friday night with our friends. Life is good. Come on by and take a chair or lean on the rail. Let's have laughter and remember fun times on the front porch. Robin Dave always had the light on for fellowship and making memories. We will try and make you stay the best it can be. Yes, life is good. Sometimes life gets in the way. It's hard to smile on the front porch, but our friends remind us we are still here and care. Yes, life is good. Southern fried porch ass sitting on the front porch on a Friday night with our friends. Life is good. Friday night is a front porch night and all is right. Yes, life is good.
Oh, yeah. I like how that song hits. In fact, I like all those songs. I hope you enjoyed that as well. If you come in early, I just try to give you a little extra time to assemble on the front porch. It is a Friday night casting call. Make your way to the front porch. Grab your coffee or whatever it is that you like. It's not for me to judge. For me, it's a little bit of coffee. I do have the coffee. We do have water, necessary thing. And, I got a little soda as well, which a little bit of tea. A little bit of tea is good, although I'm mixing a little sweet there. So I have to be careful with that. But, how you doing? Dave in the AM here with you. And I hope that you are well tonight on this Friday night. Rob probably won't be with us. He was very tired, and I think he said he was going to lay down. I was uploading some MP3 programs, and I saw his text, and he had been to the doctor, and he said that he was going to lay down, so he may or may not join. So we are here, and we hope you're here. Well, I see some of you are here. Friday night. Friday night is good for fighting, maybe. Or let me text my granddaughter back, who seems to be calling me left and right. And she's probably wanting to ask me if she can spend the night with a friend or something, you know how that goes. So let me take care of that. And we'll get going here. So anyway, it's beautiful weather. The weather is amazing after so many days of cold. And it is nice to be back in the high 60s or, the 50s at night, 40s, 50s. I think it's going to be 70s and 50s. And it is amazing. It is absolutely amazing, the temperature swing. I mean, we were down to the low 20s and only in the 30s one day. And then now we have this really wonderful weather. It's just truly amazing. And it's like a second summer or something like that. And I have to, I'm going to have to take a phone call, and I apologize. Let me just put on a song here real quick and find out what the emergency is. and we'll play you with The Girl Left Behind. I'll be right back. I apologize.
Since I crossed the hill and o'er the moor and valley, such heavy thoughts my heart do fill since parting with my Sally. I seek no more the fine and gay, for each does but remind me how swift the hours did pass away with the girl I left behind me.
All right, apologize for that. Grandchildren emergencies, flat tire for the ride they have from the football game, and I'm going to help them out. So Anthony is in the house. Hello, Anthony. I apologize again for having to depart for a second, but hey, it happens. Anthony said, yes, I understand where Rob is coming from. I had a massive dentist appointment. Dentist appointment don't sound good anyway. When you say massive, that throws it to a whole nother level. And they're saying I might have to get all 4 of my wisdom teeth pulled and also get, yeah. Okay, man. You got to get some things done in there. And I get it, man. But massive. I don't like that word massive. unless it's the president talking about a massive refund or something, But hey, it's okay. Welcome again. Sorry for departing. That's a rarity. Just let me know that they were okay and they needed a ride when the football game was over because somebody had a flat tire. So you got to take care of kiddos, and that'll be later after the show. So hope you have great plans for the weekend. In the morning, don't forget, Paul LeBron and Dave, the Cornbread Man, will be live on the street in Ringo, Georgia, in front of Caffeine Addicts. We'll go off about 8:30. We tried to say 8, but they don't open till 8, and we get coffee. And so 8:30 to be safe. That should give us plenty of time. The Southern Fried Saturday AM, and enjoying that show. Some videos will be cutting in the town and things like that. I had a fun day. I got to do I told you I was going to be hanging out with engineers, and we got to do this massive. There's that word again, but we were doing an exercise where you have to work together and make the company profitable. But it was very much a fun game. We're going to be having the guy on that started this company. He used to have his own podcast when he was sort of building his own company around the time that COVID hit, killed his career, what he was doing. So he started this company, and he has agreed to come on. And he's also over a children's museum, or he's helping with a children's museum. I don't know if Miss Jen's in here tonight, but down in Rome. Anyways, we'll come on and talk about both of those. But I like his first number one rule about his company. You have fun. That's the first number one. And so anyway, he calls himself the ambassador of fun, ambassador of goodwill, the ambassador of fun. I kind of like that. So anyways, his name's Mark. We don't know a date yet, but he's going to come on. He's going to talk about that, his company, and switching gears. I mean, it always goes back to that. I said it the other night. Everybody's going to have a center point in their life, this stupid time, mask and all that stuff. And everybody's going to say before it's all, it's like BC, AD. It's going to be, pre-V, after V, I mean, that's what it is. Or pre-C, after C. And everybody uses that reference point, but it absolutely killed his career, and he had to start over. But he's a great guy, and he's going to be on. We're setting that up. Also, our guest from Wednesday night with the Southern Shadows, we're going to be doing a tour with them too. If you're in the local area and you'd like to be involved, let me know. It's only like $23. We'll do a ghost tour with them. But Miss Courtney is going to be on with me next Thursday night. And we're going to be talking about the Battle of Chickamauga and General John Bell Hood. And I don't know why my thing right now. John Bell Hood, and the whole show will be her talking about that. Well, I tell you, everything just went haywire tonight. I mean, what the heck? Things flipping on and ain't supposed to be moving. Hello, Barry. To straighten my teeth because I have a ton of crowding. I get you, man. Got to take care of them. Cute pup there. But yeah, best wishes for you on that. So anyway, she will be on Thursday night. Her friend, and I want to give you a heads up. We're on Podbean, and probably I'll be willing to bet none of you have listened to us on Podbean. All of our shows go MP3 and go up, but we have a call-in feature on Podbean. In about 2 to 3 weeks, somewhere in there, we're going to have Miss Loner's friend, Misty, Medicare Misty, is going to come on. She's going to be talking Medicare. Get your questions ready. This is on Podbean. If you don't have that app, go get it now. And you can call into the show. This is something we've never done before, but we're going to do. Actually, we have. Let me take that back. During lives, I have took phone calls before, and I took a phone call a couple of times from Russia, all over the world. But as a podcast, me and Rob have never done. I think we did one show together on Podbean, and anyway, we never did that again. But Medicare Misty is going to be on Podbean, and she's going to be talking Medicare. We'll let you know. Get your questions ready. That's why you're going to be able to call in. If you got Medicare questions, you're going to give you a chance to call in. So it's a kind of a new thing for us, and we'll do it again. But Podbean, look for the Southern Fried on Podbean, Podbean, Bean. It's a great platform, all MP3. A lot of great content creators on there, and many of them on Rumble as well. But anyway, that'll be coming up. Additionally, we have now on December 1st, we'll put all this in the schedule. On December 1st, we have a gospel country duo from Georgia called the Neils, and they're going to be on. And I'll let you know, Barry. We'll get you all the info. Just make sure you get Podbean, and we'll give you the number and all that. So if you got the app, you can just call through the app. Be no problem, brother. Be no problem. It's really easy. But anyway, this Christian country duo, they are so excited, and they're going to be in studio right here. We're getting more and more of this happening where folks are coming in studio. Jerry and I on Facebook, just FYI. Oh, that's fine. Thanks for letting me know. I don't, and the way I'm running some of the streams and stuff, just switching around. So doing some things, but, glad to know that you're out there and doing some things. But thanks for checking in, Miss Jen. Glad you're doing well. And anyway, I've got a few things pulled up, not everything. Y'all pray for Rob again. He had a long day, was tired, was sleepy by. Hey, I laid around all week. I fell. I told you I fell, and I was on my feet a lot today, and I went about as far as I could go, and I had to come back and check on my wife, and I just propped my foot up. My toe is killing me. I feel like, people that laugh at football players for turf toe, don't laugh. It ain't turf toe, but it can't be no worse. I swear. It's hard to walk. I'm glad I'm sitting. If this was a walking show, I'd be in trouble. You don't have Podbean, just you're on Medicare. Well, Barry, all you got to do is download Podbean. It's real simple. Just download it. It's real easy. And you're going to want to do that anyway, because there's going to be Podbean. There already is Podbean shows that don't go to the rest of the channels. So I can tell you that the Cornbread Man morning show on Podbean is never shared anywhere else. So I do that live quite often. So anyway, just letting you know, there's options out there if you want them. I just want you to call in with your Medicare questions. If you don't want to do that, you can send me your question and I'll try to get it recorded, or it'll be recorded and we can download it, but you can listen to it on Podbean. You're still going to have to listen to it there because it doesn't go anywhere. And we just announced these. If you're in our club on Buy Me a Coffee, which is at the top of the screen right now, and you join that club, you get news like that first. We post it there first. And because, these folks have invested into the broadcast and everything. And then we put it on Band. We'll put it on Band. If you're not following us, BAND, you should download that. Schedule's on there. And we put certain things there. And you can join the band and follow us, knuckleheads, all of us. Elizabeth, Jen, me, Paul, Rob, Georgia Bubba, Uncle Jeb, whoever else has joined us on the program. So we got a lot of visitors that are really taking off on that side of it. And these are not people that we went out and sought after. It's just happened. It's just the natural course of things. And of course, I'm going to re-air the interview with Miss Loner. Hello, Jake. I'm going to re-air that interview this weekend as well, just giving her plenty of airtime. And I will also re-air the interview with Miss Courtney at Southern Shadows. And don't forget our folks at Three Ravens Publishing, which is awesome, and get you a book. And also on December the 12th, Rob's not here, Jake. Rob is sleeping. He's resting. On December the 12th, before we go live, I'll probably be late to the inside the show, although we're going to do a live cut-in. That's what we're hoping, me and Paul, with from a book signing where Mr. McCracken Poston Jr. is going to be, plus another author that he knows very well. And she also has wrote a book about true crime in North Georgia, which I understand is very good. On Clapper, we're doing kind of book reviews for these kind of true crime stuff and missing kids. If you don't have Clapper, that's another way to find us as well. Anyway, I'm going to buy the book, get it autographed, and we're going to try to talk to people down there in the bookstore in Ringo. So that'll be December 12th. Go live right before 7 o'clock when this thing kicks off. I got to work out some logistics, but Rob will man controls in studio. I will be live, and then I will leave and then travel back and then join in when I get there, about 20 minutes away, 25 minutes, maybe 30 at the most. I'll be back in the program, or I may just stay in along the way. Who knows? I always wonder. I was a podcaster one time, and he was in California. And if you ever follow the Summer Wells case, her daddy, and they've never found her, but he had a rough night. He was drinking heavily, and he went out, and they were live on the air with him, and he got pulled over and arrested by the police during a live podcast. Wasn't reality TV, although it was like it. It would really happen. Wow. So I don't know about lives driving down the road. I'm always thinking something will happen and it'll be like crazy stuff, you know. I don't want you to see me if God forbid, my head got cut off or something's rolling across the highway. I really don't want you seeing that. It's a morbid thought. But anyway, just give you some news and notes. There's a lot going on. And we have some feelers out there right now on some other interviews and some things we want to do. And so we're just getting started. We're cranking. We're doing. There's a lot going on, and we're all good with it. We're in. That's what we signed up for. So I'll be looking for some of that stuff. We've got some people that's going to be joining us. We're going to be joining in with back in the spring. We're going to be joining in. Hopefully, we're working out the deal on that to join in with like it's kind of like a farmer's market, but it's so much more. And we're hoping to join that and just interview people on Saturday mornings along with that show and do our regular show. But we'll be switching for those weeks to an area where there's a lot of arts and crafts and stuff for sale. Be all kind of foot traffic galore. It's just around the corner from where we're at. And we'll also be setting up from other local cities as well. We got to work out, where we're going to be and make sure we have the stuff that we need, which we'll work that out. But it's kind of cool. You never know who's going to walk up. It's the man on the street kind of stuff, which I think is the coolest thing. You never know who you're going to meet. And then people don't know they're on camera. That's the beauty of it. They can't see the screen. We're not at this time, we're not running a screen facing them. So they walk up, they have no idea that they're on camera. And then when they find out, they're straightening their shirt and everything, like, oh man, I looked a mess. Those are fun things, But I grew up on that, kind of the candid camera kind of thing, talk to the people on the street, get their ideas about stuff, and just whatever it is, ask them about their thoughts about the weather. I don't know. You never know what you're going to get. Also on Podbean, me and my granddaughter are going to be doing a show. And greetings to you there coming in from Twitch. Thank you for joining us tonight. Let us know. Tell me I do. Well, that's not very nice, so I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you. If you're going to be ugly, I'll boot you. You can be nice. Yeah. Yeah, she's doing some a lot of stuff, Barry. She's doing a lot of stuff. She's getting very busy. You know what? That's life, man. Everybody's kind of busy. I mean, no matter what you're doing, everybody's kind of busy, and that's just the nature of it. That's life, ain't it? It seems like the older we get, we should be slowing down, but instead we speed up. There's a lot of things that we're doing, and a lot of grandparents are taking care. Like me, they take care of grandkids. And, there's a necessity nowadays. Childcare is so high. There's not enough good childcare going around. And a lot of people need help. And so grandparents, great grandparents, sometimes are raising kids. Sometimes they're just, watching them, giving them babysitting, and that's the only way people can make it. I mean, by the time you pay what childcare costs in a lot of cases, you don't make nothing on a second job. So it's almost like, it just defeats the purpose. And that's what, we don't understand. And companies understand this. They're trying to set up childcare for the workers and stuff, but even for them, if they get a bulk rate, it's still very high. And it doesn't fit if they're paying for all of it or most of it or whatever it is. I'm sure it won't be all of it. It's probably some companies might. And well, no, but I would take that as a compliment, my friend. But no, they call me Wilford Brimley, not Colonel Sanders. But I take that as an honor because Colonel Sanders is Southern, and I am Southern, and I miss Colonel Sanders. I do, I really do. And but that's the wokeism of our world. They'd have to kill everything. I was in Arkansas, I think it was, and no, that's cool, man. If you can explain it, I'm all good. We just get a lot of knuckleheads in here, and I'm all good, man. As long as I like to cut up. Don't get me wrong, I like to cut up, but we do get some knuckleheads, I'll call them. I try to be nice, and I enjoy the banner. It's kind of like a men's locker room sometimes. It's rough, and that's just the women talking. Oh, did I say that? No, our ladies are sweet. Me and Rob, I don't know. Sometimes. But yeah. I like to have, and bless your heart for that. The problem with when everybody is offended, then you can't have no individuality. And that's the whole idea, right? Everybody has to be the same. I've worked for some real bad people in my life. I mean, like real but ... I could work for them, though, and here's why. I knew where they were coming from. And as long as I know what's expected, I won't never be the object of your attack, the people that won't do their job. So I can work for people like that. It doesn't bother me. It's better if they're nice and, get along and try to encourage you and all that. I've worked for some hard cases before. I just want to know where I stand. What is it you want me to do? As long as I know that, I'm good. And some people can't handle that. And so we live in a world nowadays where everybody's offended. And we get cautioned about this all the time. As leaders, as people in industry, people working at their job as managers or what, supervisors or whatever, it's almost, it's be careful. Don't say this, don't say that. Comedy is gone. You can't joke around anymore. It's all serious. And for the most part. But we've lost our ability to laugh. And again, I don't think you should ever put somebody down in a hurtful way. But a lot of times people just joking around. They just like to laugh and cut up. And people can't handle it anymore. They don't have any ability to handle joking or anything. And it's, you can't even say anything. I mean, like people get mad at you, no disparagement towards those who follow that out, as I hope they can see the truth someday, but it's always refreshing to find someone who is conscious of the damage that ideology brings. I've lost dear friends to it. Well, I think we all have, to be honest. Hey, Kenneth. Howdy, popping out. Say good evening. May lose a signal. Oh, yeah. Search and rescue case going on, Blood Mountain. Odd situation. Feds involved missing 67-year-old male. Well, God bless them. I hope they find. Feds only get involved for youth or seriously strange disappearances unless this fella is retired brass. So I think you're Virginia, right? Southern Virginia or something. Maybe I'm wrong on that. I think you were Southern Virginia or something like that. So, but good evening to you, Kenneth, and I hope you're well. Hopefully the snow is gone now and you don't have to deal with that. And I do hope they find the guy. That's always tough. They throw the word prejudice around without recognizing that ideology is saturated in prejudice. Boy, ain't that the truth? That is absolutely the truth. It's funny, as a Christian, and I never, ever, ever, ever have I ever beat somebody over the head with the gospel. Never. I have asked people, what they believe, and if they want to know more, especially at work, I would never do that at work. We could have a conversation. However, I cannot tell you how many times people have been, being cautious about, well, we got to be careful with this. Everybody don't believe the way you do, and da. But I've never heard that the other way. I've never heard that they have to be careful what they say to the Christian. I'm not saying it hasn't happened. I've just never heard it. And that's bothersome to me. It really is. And, well, maybe it is. He may be down now. Let's see. He's in Southeast Virginia. The search is in Northeast Georgia. Okay. I got you. And that's what Kenneth says. But that's his hometown area. I forgot about that. You were Georgia at one time. So got you. I was an atheist most of my life, moved into agnosticism recently, but I'm steadily growing respect and understanding for faith. Well, it's a search, it's a search for what you believe in. And I understand it because you get hit with the different levels of Christianity, and it is, there's a lot of misleading things out there. I'll just say it that way. I had a guy come on Gab one time because we're on Gab, and I told you this before. He must have left 20 messages for me, ripped me up and down, inside and out, and told me I was a fool. I didn't know what I was talking about, and I was doing damage. He twisted scripture so bad. He pulled verses out and switched them around, and I was like, I very rarely do this. I blocked him, and I can tell you on one, probably this many fingers, maybe have I ever blocked anybody? I don't block people. I really don't, unless they become abusive and aggressive and they just won't stop. I blocked a family member once. Got mad at me because of opinions I had about politics, and called me one night and just lit into me, and I just hung up on them because it wasn't going anywhere, and they kept sending me stuff, and I blocked them, and I've never unblocked them. I have nothing against them whatsoever. I love them, but I don't want to hear that. It's horrible. So yeah. And there is that, my friend. There are that can happen because we certainly are imperfect, and we just got to stay with the word and study it and realize humans, they try to do the best they can. Some of them don't, in the explanations of, but there are a lot of people that do a lot of damage. I was talking to a friend of mine in Africa, missionary in Africa, and he told me there is so much damage going on in Africa on this level right here that he said it's hard to get anything done sometimes because there's so much damage. Sorry for the flicker. Every once in a while when we cross the streams to Rumble and back again and all that, we'll get that. There's nothing wrong with my computer or anything. It's literally in the streams, and I can't do anything about that. Kenneth says, okay, yeah, I already showed that. I'll make sure I stay caught up on that. Know thy enemy. Yeah, enemy is a strong word, but you know what I mean. Yeah, I've been stabbed in the back recently by some people. I thought they were friends. They were enemies. Watch your enemies. Keep your friends close and your enemies closer. Got to watch them close. Got to know what they're up to. Sneaky sneaks, backstabbers, front stabbers, everything else. Got to watch those people. They'll come at you as a friend. Wolves in sheep's clothing. No, it's hey man, you put it all in there, man. That's what chats are for. As long as you're don't abuse anybody in the chat. That's all I say. You can have debate. I don't care about debate, man. But we have some people come here and just start attacking people. You can top as much as you want in. I'll try to do my best to stay caught up with it. But yeah, man, don't feel sorry for that, man. We got some folks that do that. Some people just listen. We've got probably 40 plus or more in here, counting all the streams. I can't see all of them on the screen. I can only see some of them. I know we're well over 30. Some people just listen. They don't like to talk or even type or whatever, but they like to listen. I have people tell me that all the time. I listen, but I don't chat. Well, what I mean by abuse is a personal abuse, personal. Start calling people out, mocking them, making fun of them. You can speak truth. I'm talking about personal attack where you're just being abusive to someone about their name, who they are, what they believe or whatever. Because everybody's free to believe whatever they want to in this chat. It doesn't matter to me as long as it doesn't become, malicious. That's a good word. Malicious. I'm not here to tell anybody how to believe. It amazes me the people that start podcasts and they get mad because people don't believe the way they do. Why would you even expect that? People are people. They come from, thousands of backgrounds, millions of backgrounds, and they have their environment they've been influenced by, parents, grandparents, friends, brothers, sisters, people in authority, whatever it is. Their life experience has impacted their life, and everybody has things they believe in. I have challenged preacher friends of mine. I would say, if you have the guts to do it, nobody's ever taken me up on it. Truly, nobody's ever taken me up on this. I said, if you're not afraid, because a lot of pastors fear. They do. They're so afraid. I said, put an anonymous questionnaire to your congregation. Anonymous. You got to make it anonymous. And you can't touch it. Like, you can't be passing them out. You let them take them home and bring them back, and you ask them a series of questions. What do you believe about this, 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 this? And I said, be prepared that you're going to find a lot of people who don't believe exactly what you believe, and they're in your church. And I have never, to my knowledge, nobody's ever taken me up on that. I love that kind of thing, because it will tell you kind of where your congregation is at. And everybody's at different levels. You'll have those that are staunch, one way. You're going to have some that have more liberal ideas to that. I don't mean liberal in a bad way, but they're a little bit more, they're not as conservative in that. There may be a misunderstanding about what the Bible says about something. They've never had it explained to the way that they can understand it. And I will give you one. I was in fear isn't bad, but being afraid of being afraid. Now that's true hell. Well, yeah, you've got to be able to taking me up on doing a questionnaire for their congregation to ask them what they believe on certain subjects related to faith. And if you do that, well, you can even ask your own family. Start with your own family. I would I will tell you, I would challenge preachers to ask their own family anonymously. It would be interesting to know what you would get back. Because I can tell you that sometimes people in your own family, inner family, close, like wife, kids, they don't believe exactly what you believe. They have a different understanding about something, and I think preachers are afraid to do that. I really do. Most of them, they're afraid of the answers because they like to live in this It's one of those things where, and hey, listen, I love my pastor, I love pastors, but I can tell you that pastors don't agree either. That's what cracks me up. All pastors don't agree on every single thing. They don't. Even those in like-minded ministries, they think they do, but they really don't. There are some differences. I can tell you I have dear friends, and we have had discussions about it because we're not afraid of it. And we have agreed to disagree on a couple of issues because we see it two different ways, and we're really not going to change each other's mind. It's not a bad thing. It's just open debate. And this one was over what do you believe? At what point do you go see the Lord after death? And so anyway, it's just stuff like that. I think it's great. I wish to be a preacher of truth and the positive development of all, but one who can reach out to those who would immediately put up barriers to those who wear a cloth. Yeah. Well, I don't throw around. I don't run from it, but I don't throw out titles. I'm not big on that. I think you have to be very, very careful with that because it feeds an ego. And that's with anything. We're not talking about just ministry. This has got to be very careful with that. Humans have this innate need to get recognized. And it is a fallacy. It is something that affects so many people. And I have seen people quit organizations because they didn't get the job that they wanted. They felt like that job was their job. And when they didn't get it, they quit. That tells you what you need to know about where they were at. And why would they be that upset? Why would they be so upset because they didn't get a job that they would quit? Or even a promotion. No, they just quit. They can't handle it. And yes, politics can get caught up into it, But I've always looked at it, if the Lord wants me to have something, I'm going to have it. And nobody can stop that, really. He can work around, he does all the time, work around all the crazy stuff in life. And so, I just, sure, we get upset. It hurts to not get the things you want. But you just learn, that's how you grow. There's a great book that I read one time, and I did a class off of it called Failing Forward. If you've never read this book, it's by John Maxwell, and it's a great book. It's called Failing Forward. And in that book, you will hear stories of very successful people and how much they failed in life before they ever became a success. It's got people like Truett Cathy, who's deceased now, the founder of Chick-fil-A. It's got the lady over Mary Kay Cosmetics, and there's a number of them. And then it gives you pointers and tools. And basically, if you don't learn to embrace your failures, you'll never be a success because you're going to fail more than you succeed in life. We do. We just do. But if you grow, that's why it's called failing forward. What did you learn from the experience? What did you learn you need to work on? What is there something missing? Because when we create something, we think that it's the best thing ever. Like if I make this widget, whatever that widget is, I've made this wonderful widget. I've got it. I think it's pretty. Everybody's going to love it. It's got neat stuff inside, and everybody's going to buy it. Everybody's going to love it. And then when they don't, you've invested a lot of money in it, and you go out of business, and you got some debts. Okay, then you can just shut down and say, I quit. That's a loser way out. Or you can say, the next time I'll know that this doesn't work. But I think it's a good idea still, or maybe it's not. Maybe I need to totally reinvent it. Maybe I just need to alter a couple things. Maybe I didn't market it correctly. Maybe my price point was bad. There's all kinds of things you can learn out of that. And if you learn it, and I'm not just talking about just business. I mean, heck, fire. I've been a failure as a parent sometimes. Not out of because I wasn't trying. I just realized that I handled a situation in a way that I didn't think was great. And I had to admit that to myself. Like, okay, super parent, super dad, you didn't do good here. I've had my wife say, Dave, you could have handled that better. I didn't like it, but I had to admit it. And I say, yeah. And I have to go sit down and talk to my sons and say, hey, listen, I need a do-over here. I didn't do what I thought. I did at the time what I thought I should do, but I now see that there were mistakes in that. And so I'm asking you to forgive me. Let's start over in this thing. I think that's successful. It's healthy. Let's see. Let me catch up a little bit. It's because I understand the immediate judgment atheists can have against those who have faith, to the point when they dismiss their point without even listening to it. That's true. If you close your ears and close your mind, you can't learn. And I can listen to anybody. If I never even agree with them, I can listen. I can have the respect to listen to somebody. I just have issues when it comes to the suffering of children and natural disasters. I get that. I get this question all the time. Just know that we are a fallen world. It is a fallen world. We could say a lot about that, but I understand that it's a natural, logical ability of us to think this doesn't make logical sense. But remember, faith is so much greater than our logic, and we have to have faith in that. I have to have faith and understanding of why, just to trust that we don't understand everything. And, I think we all went through that as young people, Christians, whatever. I certainly understand that. Like when you said, if God wants you to have, then you will have it. How does that apply to, say, children who got terminal illnesses, for example? That's a primary hurdle for me, accepting divinity. And we have to accept that God allows that to happen. If we agree that God has the ability to do whatever He needs to do or whatever, and He does not move in that area, we have to accept that part of that. He has allowed it to happen, and this is one that's hard for people to get past. But bad things have always happened. If you read the Bible, bad things happen in there, and God is still at work. And we just have to understand that there's a greater plan. It will all come out in the end the way it's supposed to. It doesn't mean it doesn't hurt. Doesn't mean that we don't get angry and all that. Absolutely. But we just have to accept that part of it, that man is the bad, the bad one here. It's not God. Don't blame God. It's man, but God as an ultimate plan. No matter my decisions, I will get what God wants me to get. No, you're good. I spent 30 years being a leech and abdicating responsibility. That's a big admission there, my friend. Due to believing I would never be able to live up to it, but now suddenly I have been thrust into a position of responsibility over my brother, who's half my age and has been dejected by our parents. And it's down to me to lead and be strong for him. Well, God bless you for that. And that's one of the greatest things we could do. The Bible tells us to love God first and then love everyone else. That's the two greatest commandments. And there's a lot of evil in our world, certainly. There was a missionary couple that came back on not deputation. They were coming back to report. They were making the report out. So they were going down the interstate, and they were all in a van, and they hit something on the highway. It struck up and hit the gas can, or the gas tank, and it exploded the gas. It went into it. The spark exploded the gasoline, and the van and it mainly hit in the rear end, right? So it set the back of the van on fire. Going down the highway, they got stopped, and it's an inferno. The husband and wife get out, and sadly, they could not save any of the children. I think they had 7 children. Think about that. 7 children. Can you imagine how devastated they were? Did they think about sitting down and quitting? They sure did. But they said, no, we'll see them again. We will see them again. And they went back to the work. I can imagine, though, it's going to be a lifetime of prayer, faith, trust, praying. Absolutely. I couldn't imagine. You've been called a pilgrim at heart. Amen. But yeah, you have to. I have trouble determining whether there should be a limit to forgiveness or not. Just remember, we always forgive. The forgiveness is for us. It doesn't mean that people don't pay their debt to society. I have a son in prison right now, and it's very hard, very hard. But people make mistakes, even that have been taught correctly. And we all make mistakes. We all come up short, and we all fail. We fail a lot. A lot of people have a hard time admitting that. I've often said we should all go to some class and just hold up our hand and say, "Hey, I'm Dave. I'm a sinner. I'm fighting it every day. I'm getting victory on it most of the time. Some days I fail. Some days I fail. Many days I fail. Let me change that. Many days. Is it every day? I don't know. I have to ask God on that one. But it does. It just does. You know, you get these things that happen, and we just fail. What can I say? We are failures sometimes. And we have to, I think that's the hardest thing when you was talking about forgiveness. The hardest thing is for people to forgive themselves. They will hold on to that. They will hold on to it. Yeah, it is hard to forgive others, sure. But it's also hard to forgive yourself sometimes. I've suffered with that before. I haven't, well, some of you never heard me say this, but my pastor came to me one time and he wanted me to do a Bible study on forgiveness. And so I did this thing a little different. I didn't just write down verses about forgiveness and go step 1, step 2, step 3, the 5-point preaching. I didn't do that. I did it totally different. And my pastor said at the end, he said, "You just don't know how mad I am at you right now." I said, "I think I do." He said, "No, you don't." He said, "As much as my face shows it, I'm madder." He goes, he said, "I'm glad you did it." What happened was I gave scenarios to people, and they didn't know what the scenario was until they opened up the paper. And when they read, these were extreme examples. And when they opened up the scenario, in fact, he was one of them. He said, "I don't want this one." I said, "That's the one you get. You got to deal with it." He said, "I'm already mad." I said, "I know it. Deal with it. If you're going to get a master class in forgiveness, you have to go there. You have to go into that part of you that doesn't want to forgive, and you got to defeat it." And these were hardcore situations, let me tell you. There were people crying during the session. There were people angry. There were people mad at me. They were mad at God. They were mad at themselves. It was about 2 hours. I'm going to tell you, when it was over, nobody knew what to say. So my pastor says, "I want you to do this again in a regular service." I was like, "Are you kidding me? This is crazy. I don't know if I can do it." Well, we did it. And we had some visitors come in and we explained to them it was a different kind of service. And we asked them if they wanted to partake, if they wanted to leave. We perfectly understood if they could just want to sit there and watch. We definitely put them on, the knowledge that what we were fixing to cover was intense. We never saw them again. About halfway through, I knew they were never coming back. They ended up just listening. They didn't partake in it. But they were like, wow. When I say intense, I mean like situations like your daughter was killed by a drunk driver. And that was the pastor's. Your daughter was killed by a drunk driver. The driver went to prison for 15 years. He gets out of prison. Your church is out on knocking doors, asking people to church. He doesn't know that the people come to his door is your church or that you're there. And he wants to meet the pastor because he's been in prison and he wants to come to a church, but he wants to make sure it's going to be okay. And so the scenario says that when he first hears about it, the pastor's like, "Oh, absolutely. 15, that's no problem. Come as you are. Let's go help this man. Absolutely, I'll go meet him." And when you get to the door and the door opens up, it's the guy that T-boned your car and killed your daughter as a drunk. And it ends with a question, "What do you do?" And that's when he said, "I don't want this. I do not want this question." And I said, "You get the one you get." I had to do that. There were some that were even tougher than that. And I mean, I don't want to repeat them on here. This is stuff that probably most people don't even talk about in church, to be honest, except by code word, because they can't even say it. We had no children there. It was all adults. It was understood. And it was husbands and wives. Everybody's was there, all the couples. There were no single people there. It was all husbands and wives, the core of your church. I'll never forget it as long as I live. I don't know if I can do it again. I'm going to tell you, it took so much out of me to even do that class. And what it showed me is, in the end, this is the answer I got out of it. We do a very bad job in this area, very bad. And here's why I say that. Because a lot of times you think you have forgiven someone. You say you have. The words come out. "Oh, I forgave them." But you got to be very careful. There can be that little bit of bitterness that's still down there in here, in your heart, somewhere. You've pushed it so far back, you forgot it was even there. And when that person's name is mentioned, if your stomach tightens up a little bit, like you could feel your blood pressure rising a little bit, you haven't forgiven them. You're angry. You have not, and not fully. And that's the hard part. And we just struggle in this area. It's not meant to be easy, by the way. It's not. When Jesus was on the cross, and I'm not trying to make it all ministry or anything, but I think it's perfectly acceptable. I think most people listen have at least an understanding, and you always have the opportunity to leave the channel. But I will say this: when Jesus was on the cross, he said, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." That's the answer. If he can do that, now he's crossed. But we should always try to get to that point. And what did they do? Well, we know what they did, and we know how violent they did it. And if he can say that, then we have to have the mind of Christ. It's hard. There's nothing easy about it. It's like being a parent. There's nothing easy about being a parent. If somebody tells you it's easy, man, get them checked out. It's not easy to be a parent. It's not easy to be a grandparent sometimes. Now I'm both parent and grandparent. It's not easy. It's not easy. I was listening to someone today, and they were telling the crowd, the group, about something their boy did at school. Oh man, I'm getting called down to school. You did what? Have you ever had that call? You're like, oh man, and it's just the most horrible thing to have to go and realize your child is not perfect, just like you. And every parent has said this. I thought we talked about this. You know better. Why would you do it? I will tell you that when my kids got grown, they're adults. Whenever the family would get together, we'd be laughing and cutting up and telling old stories. That's what you do, right? It's a great thing. It's great fellowship. Every year when we did that, like at holidays or birthdays or something, I would hear a little story and I go, hey, wait, well, what was that? And they would go, ooh, Dad didn't know. They had agreed. Rascals, we better not tell Dad. He'll get mad. It was like a level of protection. It's like, we fixed it. It's corrected. They should have told me, but they didn't. And it was like, and they were like, they all got this funny look like, well, they said that was years ago. That was 20 years ago, Dave. Yeah, but I didn't know about it. And it makes me wonder, how many of them stories have I not heard? Because I worked a lot. I was very involved in my kids' upbringing, very involved, but I worked a lot. So you can't be everywhere at one time. At least I can't. Yeah, easy isn't always the right goal. That's right. Anything that tends to have repercussions, they are not easy to deal with. Have a deep urge to repent and sacrifice. Well, amen, brother. I mean, that's all of us, by the way. It's not just for you. When we all have to have a repentant heart. I mean, we all have to know that we need to repent. And it's just a healthy exercise to repent because we know what we've done. Vengeance and wrath plagued me over the decade. I had a young lady tell me this today. I was telling her about somebody did us wrong. She knew about it. And she's like, I don't know why somebody would do that. And I was talking to her and she goes, me and you are very different. And that's okay. She said, I don't know how you do it. And I said, what? She said, I'm looking to get back. I want to get people like that back. I'm looking to repay them. And you're not. I don't understand it, but I appreciate it. And I said, well, if you think that it never crosses my mind, you would be wrong. Because it does. Because there's that side of me that wants to, I mean, yeah, I do. I mean, I'm human. I mean, there's been times where, like I had to really gather myself. And I remember one time I came home from work and my wife says, hey, one of our sons, he got into the disagreement with the girl down the street. They grew up together. They were still very small. I don't remember how old. Anyway, they both kind of pushed at each other. I told him never to do that, but she pushed him. He pushed her back. She fell down. She told her mama, or she told her dad. Dad didn't live there. They were separated, but the dad comes over. He calls down the house and he tells my wife he's going to kick somebody's rear end, and he didn't say rear end. And I said, he said what? And she said, he's supposed to call you here in about 20 minutes. I said, oh, thank you very much. I'm looking for that phone call. So he calls in and he starts talking to me about it. And I said, stop Ola. We'll talk about that in a minute. This is an easy fix. They're kids. I said, we got to take care of the issue first, that you called my house as a man and you talked to my wife and you made a threat. That I have a problem with. That will not be tolerated. And he instantaneously, he said, I was wrong. I'm sorry. I was angry. I got on the phone. I should have never addressed a female like that. I should have certainly never addressed your wife like that. And you are absolutely correct to be mad at me. And I'm just asking you, can you forgive me? And I just want to, he said, I've had time to cool off. And I realized that both kids were at fault, but he's a boy. He shouldn't be pushing around. I said, listen, man, we got it. We're on the same page. But yeah, when she told me that, the little red dot was right here. Like, what? Terminator. What? He said, what? So we all feel like that, like, oh, yeah, let me just go deal with that right now. You just don't mess with somebody's family like that. And, but some people react and they just go do without ever thinking it through. And it's not easy. It's not easy. What about stuff at school? I mean, all of us get angry about stuff that happens. You got to go deal with it, and you got to stand up for your kids. But you got to measure it. You got to stand up, but you can't act a fool. I mean, first of all, you got to get all the facts. You may only have part of the facts. There's a lot of part about reaction. Is first you got to gather all the facts. Sometimes the facts are not known. And kids, I know it's not a super secret, kids will cover that for themselves and make someone else look like the worst one, and they will lie. Oh, there's a shocker. You mean to tell me that kids will lie? You dang right they will. Did you lie when you were a kid? Most likely, at least at times. Self-preservation. I knew a person once, and they told me they had a real problem with lying. They were an adult. They were in their 30s. And they said, I have just recently been convicted by my lying, and I am working on it. I'm praying for strength. I have lied my whole life. I don't know why I do it. I just lie. I lie about everything. This was a person that went to church, that loved God. And they said, I'm telling you, I'm a liar. Oh, is swearing a sin, a condemnable act? Well, any word can be swearing. It's how it is used, my friend. But, I think if society, has determined, we know that there are slang words that mean things, but sometimes that's just so out of bounds because culture will make a word bad. And I don't want to use them tonight, but I was at work one day and I said this word, and it's in relation to sports. And someone said, oh, I can't believe you said that. I said what? I said it again. They went, oh, I can't believe you said that. I said, what are you talking about? And they said, that's a dirty word. I said, no, it's not. What are you talking about? And another guy said, it was in a movie and they made it into a dirty word. He said, but he's right. It's always been a baseball term and it's not. And now you're all trying to figure out what it is. Just the way the brain works, right? And it has become, but it's always been this, but now it means this. But he said, that's baloney. He said, he didn't say a dirty word. To you, he did, but he didn't. And that's what I mean by that. What is dirty? It can be a lot of things. Is 6'7" dirty? That seems to be all I hear anymore. 6'7", 6'7". Is that dirty? I don't have a clue. I know that all the kids are saying it. I know it's some kind of kid rebellion and they're saying it. I have no clue. Is it dirty? I don't know. It's a number 6 and number 7, I can tell you that. But is it dirty? I don't have a clue. I'm getting older now where, I say things that become dirty because society is determined, oh, we can't say that. But listen, I take a bunch of teenagers to school, all the way from the age of 14 down to 10, all in between. And I can tell you that there's a lot of words that they're saying. Now, I don't like them. Some of them are not dirty, and they don't say dirty things to me. Although there's some words I ask them that I think they shouldn't say, and they'll say, I am so sorry. I literally, you got to say literally a lot. I literally didn't mean to say that, Papa. I literally didn't mean to say that. But they forget I'm in the truck. They get so caught up in their little conversations, I asked one of them the other day because they were making fun of a girl. Yeah, she always says something in front of Papa and gets embarrassed. So I looked at her and I said, what about you? Do you curse? And she went, oh. I said, you don't have to answer. But I wanted to see your reaction. I said, do you curse? She's in high school. Do you curse? I said, don't answer it because you know the answer. And it really doesn't matter if I know the answer or not. You know it. And if you're saying things as you shouldn't, clean it up. Just say it. Another thing I do, I will say this. I learned this a long time ago. As a man of God, whatever you will say, I do preach the word. I'm not putting myself on a pedestal. I'm just Dave. I'm a sinner. I'm trying every day. Okay. It's an honor to be able to open up the word and share. But I will say this. I am not the speech police. That's not a job I want. I don't ever, I will, if my kids were around, I would only ask people to please not say certain words around my kids because I'm trying to kind of guard their little ears, But I don't get on to people about that stuff. I'm not the speech police. I can walk away. I'll remove myself. They will learn very quickly that if I didn't care for it. But I'm not here to tell you how to talk. That's ridiculous. And I've seen people try to be that, like, you shouldn't say those words. That's not my job. That's not my job. And I'm not going to get caught up into that. I'm not the hall monitor dude, okay? That's not my job. I don't want to tell people how to talk. If God can't, if you don't listen to him, you're not going to listen to me. You can say it in your heart. I would never know it. I don't want the job. When did people think that preachers have to get onto you for your speech? It's not my job. Anything said after the word literally is a lie in my experience. I love that. Hey, Sigmund. But does anger respond in a measured way? No, anger does not. Anger is anger. By God, let's go get them. Anger is a plot. Sometimes this might be necessary, though. That's not a bad thing. I'm gonna tell you, you hit my kid, knock him across the room. You're getting in kind. I don't know where that happened either. That we're supposed to be solemn and always measured. We can't raise our voices. We always have to talk like we're a funeral director. No, you hurt my family. I'm hurting you. You're not doing it. I don't like to have to do that, but you made the choice. You made the choice for me. You slapped my wife, it's on. It is on like Donkey Kong. I don't know where that came from either. People think that Christians are pushovers. I've heard that Christians can't be football players. That's ridiculous. You know how many preachers are running around on football fields? When they're on the field, they're a warrior. Let's go. Yeah. That's dumb. That's a myth. To think that Christians just roll over and die? No, we fight. We just know where we're going if we die. You ever saw the movie The Tip of the Spear? It's a great story. Jim Elliott. It's a great, great story. I heard his wife speak at a church once after he died and all that. But in the movie, and I don't know, I guess it really happened this way. They let the cannibal tribe or whatever run the spears right through them. They didn't try to resist. That's not me. I want to reach you, but I'm not letting you kill me. Okay. I'm not that dude. And if that makes me bad, I don't care. I am not going to roll over and let you just run the spear through me. I may still go down. I was at the walking track one night. A preacher friend of mine, he said, dude, I love to hear you say this. He goes, because I do the same thing. Me and my wife were at the walking track. And you ever been out walking at a track, but you stay a little bit too late because the later it goes, when it get that there's a crowd that starts coming in that's way different than a walking crowd. And we had stayed, and I looked up, there was me and my wife, and there was one other guy walking on the track. And me and my wife had just been talking. We're walking. We're just enjoying the evening. It's a beautiful evening. We're walking. And I look over, and there's these 4 or 5 guys sitting in the car, and they're all just sitting straight ahead looking. I don't know if they're stoned out of their mind. They might feel like the car's going 100, or if they're up to no good. So I was like, and I looked up, and the other walker had left. He was pulling off the parking lot because we was on the other side of the track. I was like, oh, man. And so I'm like, there's nobody here but me and my wife. So I'm thinking, save the wife. I'm going down with the ship. So I said, here's the deal. We had one cell phone back in those days. We didn't have two. So here, honey, here's the cell phone. We made up this plan. I said, here's the cell phone. I had my friend Paul LeBron, who was on with me on Saturday mornings. At that time, he lived just up the street in an apartment from the little park. I said, if these guys get out of the car when we go by, as we're trying to head to our car, here's what I want you to do. And I didn't have a weapon. I didn't have no knife, gun. I have nothing like that. I said, here's the phone. I said, I want you to take off running and don't look back. You can be, dial 911 or whatever while you're running, but you run to Paul's house and get him. And if there's anything left of me, you and the police or whoever, Paul, not you, but Paul, you can rescue me when you get back or when help gets here. She said, what are you going to be doing? I said, try to live. And I said, so in my mind, I'm working up all these moves, which it's not going to go that way, but somehow we do that. Like, okay, I'm going to kick one of them in the knee. I'm going to punch one of them right in the nose. I'm just working up these scenarios, but all of it was designed to give my wife getaway time. And so anyway, nothing happened. I think they were just stoned. They're just sitting there. They never moved. I thought, are they dead? But their eyes were open. I think they were just stoned out of their mind. So anyway, we go to the car. I was telling a preacher friend of mine that story. He goes, dude, I do the same thing all the time. I like work out my fight moves. I said, have you ever used them? He goes, no. I said, do you think it'll work? He said, probably not, but it makes me feel better. Hey, you know what? You start working out a plan. It's better to have a plan. You'll have to adjust the plan. Somebody, one of them are going to get a good shot on you in the head or something. You're going to have the bloody nose. You're going to be on the ground. You're going to have to figure out what you're going to do. It's like Clint Eastwood in the Dirty Harry movies. I mean, he got hit in the back of the head because the guy had the drop on him, right? And so when he's down on the ground, he pulls that knife and he sinks it in his knee. See, his plan changed because he was always, the gun. He was always, I'll take you out. But he had to alter the plan. It's a good plan. He lived. But sometimes you got to do that. But I don't know where people got this idea that Christians don't fight. No, Christians have always had to fight. Fight for survival. Fight for your right. Not for party. For survival. Oh, man. It's a crazy conversation, but it's good. I enjoy it. We probably drove the chat crazy. We still have quite a few in here. We thank you for listening on this beautiful, beautiful Friday evening, 9:07 on the Eastern time zone. It is nightfall. I hate to get dark early. I hate that. It's gotten dark. It's not cold though. Thank goodness for this. It's not raining. That's another benefit. It's a beautiful night to be sitting on the banks of the Southern Fried River as it flows gently through the state of Georgia to parts unknown in the state of Florida. We'll have to look for that sometime. Sitting on the front porch with our friends, Got tea and water and coffee. Coffee's probably getting cold. It's a little cold. Um, enjoying our time together, having deep philosophical, eternal conversations, which is great. You know, when I was a kid, I used to sit around the adults, and all the kids, they wanting to punch shoulders and tell stupid, silly jokes. And I just felt, I don't know, I was kind of an old soul when I was a kid. I didn't really get into none of that. And I was very much shy, introvert. I like to sit around the adults. Their stories were better. So I would just get as close as I could and I would just listen. And I heard and I'm not talking about listening for, dirty stuff. I just thought their stories are much more interesting, telling stories of things they did in their life, fishing trips they went on, crazy things that happened to them, their life experiences, their work experiences. I just thought those were much more interesting than some, one of my cousins, with, snot running down his nose and, saying silly things like 6'7", which they didn't say that back then. I wanted to hear adults. I just wanted to hear adults talk. I've always loved to sit at the feet of the elders and listen to them. Give me a senior person and I'll sit and listen to them all day long. I love to do that. I love to hear their experiences because they've lived things that I have not lived. And, that they've got all this wisdom, or they should have. Now, some people get old and they have no wisdom. They could still be fun to listen to because it might be crazy. And I don't mind listening to a little cray-cray sometimes. I've listened to some people and I'm thinking, I can't decide whether you're crazy or you're just a comedian that masks it real well. I really don't know what they are. It's like, I feel like I've just stepped into the Twilight Zone, if you can remember that. And I really don't know where the exit is. And so I just continue listening. And it's like, wow, we've went down the rabbit hole here. I really don't know where to get off at. And they just keep talking. And you're like, I thought this story was going to be over 30 minutes ago, but it still's going and it's getting crazier. I'll listen though, because that's entertaining to me. I'm just trying to figure out where's the stopping point. I want to get the whole story, but I don't have all night to listen. I'm trying to figure out where's the bottom for this story. And sometimes there's not one. And I think, are you making it up as you go along? I mean, how do you get that crazy? Some people got some stories. I like that kind of stuff. That's what I like about the podcast. People tell you weird, horrible, even though, wow, I can't believe that happened. I've never seen that before. Have fun with it. I mean, it's a story. I tuck all that useless information away. And somehow or another, God uses it 10 years, 20 years down the road. And I'm talking to somebody and they bring up something. I go, it's kind of funny. I talked to a guy one time, or I talked to this lady one time, and they told me about this. And it gives you a reference point that you can at least have a conversation. It's useless information until you need it. Then it's useful. And I have a brain full of it. The problem is I can't recall it like I used to. The brain just doesn't work like it's supposed to anymore. But every once in a while, it still pops up. I'm like, oh, okay, good. That's good. I kind of know what I'm talking about. By the way, I was on the podcast the other day. I told you this. I did the top 10 riding lawnmowers in the Southeast. And I was in a store 2 weeks later, and a guy thinks I'm a manager at the Home Depot, and I'm not. And he wants help. He says, what's the best mower? Wow, we just talked about this. I told him what the survey said. Survey says. And he appreciated it. He's like, okay, all right. I'm glad you didn't say this brand because I've been having trouble with them. He goes, I think you just gave me some good advice. I appreciate it, friend. I said, okay, if I can help, I can help. I'm not the manager, but I'm willing to help somebody. Have you ever been somewhere and somebody thinks you're the manager and you just go with it? I have done that before. It's like, because I just knew, and I'd be like, well, we have this 3 for $5 over here. And if you get the coupon over there, you'll get $1 off. And they just go, oh, thank you so much, sir. You're a big help. I'm not the manager. I just knew that there was $1 off. And I think that's cool. Now, I didn't do it hurtfully. There's people done that. Back when I was a young man, I'm a young 60 now. I'm young. Hey, Celtic. Back when I was a young man, I was, I lived a life where I was going to some bars and stuff. I used to like to listen to music and stuff. There used to be a guy that ran around, and he looked a lot like one of the guitar players in Judas Priest, right here in Chattanooga. And my understanding is that he went with it. Like, he got free drinks all over town. They'd say, "Hey, are you in Judas Priest?" He'd say, "Well, my cover's blown." And they would say, "I knew it. I knew. You wasn't going to say it, but I know you're that guy. What's his name?" Yeah, that guy. Let me buy you a, hey, thanks y'all for rating. Let me buy you a drink. And the guy would do that all over town. This guy was never in a band. He couldn't even play guitar, but he had great hair. And he did kind of look like, I don't know if it was KK Downing. I think it was KK. And he would go with it. And you know what? One night I ran into this guy. And I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I hear you're in," I was joking, "I hear you're in Judas Priest." He's kind of laughing. He goes, "Well, you know." I said, he told me, he said, "You know what?" He goes, "I don't take them for a lot of stuff." He goes, "I'll take a drink here or there." He goes, "You know what they like about it? It makes them feel good." He goes, "I used to tell them every time, no, that's not me. That's not me. That's not me. I'm not in a band." He goes, "They wouldn't believe me. So I just went with it." You just go with it, you know. I, if somebody ever asks me, "Are you that blacksmith guy on Rumble?" I'm going to say, "Well, is there a drink involved in it?" I'm just kidding. Hello and good evening. The raid is on, and the raid is on. Oh, hope y'all having a great night. Steve, did you get hammered on a Friday night? Oh, he does that hammer. He gets hammered because he's hammering, not drinking. He don't drink. But how many people look like a celebrity and they just go with it? Like, well, you got me. I was in Atlanta one time and I saw the rock group Kiss without makeup. There's a guy that came to the show, and he had made up his own outfit. I talked to this guy. He had the makeup on, like he looked just like Gene Simmons with the makeup on. By the way, he built his outfit to look like that looked like the Destroyer tour, and he had the wings, the whole thing. I mean, this guy looked incredible. Same height, the same build. It's amazing. Gene Simmons gave him a salute and a thumbs up in the show. Well, we had a friend that didn't have a ticket to the show. He sat in the truck and drank the whole time. So we got out of the show. We go back to the truck, and the guy goes, "Hey, I met Gene Simmons." And we're like, "No, you didn't meet Gene Simmons." "Yes, I did. I met him. He had the makeup on, had the outfit. I met this guy. He's 3 sheets to the wind or 20 sheets to the wind. I don't know." And I said, "No, you didn't meet Gene Simmons." "Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Don't tell me." He started getting mad. I said, "Fine. You met Gene Simmons." I said, "Did you get his autograph?" He goes, "Yeah, I sure did." The guy signed it. Gene Simmons. Celtic Blacksmith. I took my brother to my favorite bar back and I still drank. Bartender asked him if his name was Jason. He said, "Maybe. Does Jason have a tab here?" That's a good question to ask. Yeah, he owes me about $150, so I'm not that guy. Oh, man. But it bothers me when people come up to me and they go, "I know you." I don't know what they mean by that. Like, is it a good thing or a bad? They'll say, "Don't I know you from somewhere?" And that's what I'll ask them. "Well, was it a good experience or bad?" They'll say, "Bad." I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy. I just look like him. If they say, "Oh, it's a great experience," "Oh, yeah, it's probably me." And then I've had this happen. I never remembered who they were. And they'll go, "Didn't we go to school together?" And I'll say, "Yeah, probably." His real name is Mike. Oh, that's funny. But yeah, this guy looked like KK. And this has been, oh my gosh, 33 years ago. But the guy would go around some of the bars. He'd shoot pool and stuff. And he would tell them, "Yeah, we're on a hiatus right now. We just got off tour." Man, he would throw that English accent out there. He wasn't English, but he would throw the English accent. "Yeah, we're on tour, mate. We're going to be going back. You know, and the guy, let me buy you a Long Island tea. Sure, mate. Yeah, good. We'll be in front of Caffeine Addicts right there on the main strip in the Ridley building. When you're going down the street there, if you're going towards the courthouse, towards up 41 Highway, up, not towards the trestle, away from the trestle. It's on your right. See the Ridley building? You can't miss us. We'll be right there. As long as they don't kick us out, Mike. And how you doing, Mike? Speaking of Mike, you say Mike shows up. How about that? That's pretty cool, man. But yeah, we were at this event today, and they asked me. Here's one for you. Y'all can throw this in the chat. They asked us if a national holiday, if you could make a national holiday, what would it be? Like if you got a day off of pay, what would be your national holiday? And I said, I don't think it made everybody happy. I said, I think Georgia Bulldog fans should have a national holiday just for being dog fans. The Day of the Dog. We should get paid for it. Well, I'm glad you're having a better day, Mike. I think we should get paid for it. Uga's the greatest mascot. And yeah, we should have a day where it's a paid holiday from work if you're a dog fan. That's what I said. we got somebody said a baking day if you bake. Only if you bake. And you're good at it, you should get it off with pay. One day a year. They had all kind of answers. But that's what I said. We have too many national holidays, really. I mean, at some point, the government's just not going to be working ever. National holiday today. When I was in Mexico, cannons were going off every day. And this is not a shot at Catholicism. But every day the cannons are going off. And I say, why are they shooting the cannons? Oh, it's a Catholic holiday. Next day we're out. Cannons going off. I said, why are they shooting the cannons off? It's another Catholic holiday. The saint or sister so-and-so or whatever is birthdays today, or they became a saint today or whatever. I was like, dude, they have a holiday every day. That's pretty cool. You think that you should have a day set aside to celebrate Georgia being 13th in statehood. Okay, cool. I could dig it. Number 13, baby. A prison colony. We're kind of like Australia. A lot of prisoners in Georgia. I think they all stayed in Atlanta and had offspring. Because there's a lot of criminals in Atlanta. Still. We could get 13s with a state outline, rocket, Yeah, national holiday or state holiday, we're 13th. That's why 13th is a bad luck to me. Cool. I like it. Or Rome. Okay. Rome. Rome was not built in a day, even the Rome, Georgia. Oh, it was a fun day today. I had a lot of fun. Those events can go really good or really bad sometimes, or just The event today with the engineers was pretty cool. We got to do some different things. We even got blindfolded to do this one thing. I was like, I don't know about that, but it went good. Criminals are bad here. Yeah, there's a lot of criminals down there in Rome, Georgia. That's where all the international criminals, they get out of Atlanta, they go to Rome. They've been busted. There was a house down there in Rome. This has been a few years ago. They were funneling money for terror organizations into the state from a little house there. You chatted with Elizabeth earlier. She's feeling better. Good. Rob is resting. He had a long day. He drove, was at the doctor's all day. And if he won't say anything more than that, I'll let him. It's his business. I'm not going to get in his business. But he's resting tonight. And we look forward to having a good weekend. In the morning, be on a couple of times. We'll probably do a couple of videos. And like I said, for those that weren't here, we've got some more guests coming up. Stay tuned. Follow us on Band. And get your Podbean now, because Medicare Misty is going to be on Podbean, a call-in show we're going to be doing about Medicare in about 2 weeks. Podbean, MP3, baby. Get the app now so you can call in. It ought to be a fun show. There's so much knowledge needed. You know, a lot of people have so many. I've got questions. I mean, honestly, I'm far away from it, but my wife is getting closer, and I need to. There's questions I have, so it'll be something that I definitely am looking forward to ask those questions, because you don't want to mess that up. That's important stuff. There's some things you got to do at a certain time, and if you mess it up, it's really almost impossible to fix it. It's very important. I can't believe I'm even in the time frame of, you know, within range of, you know, several years still. I can't even believe that. It's so weird to me that I'm in range of possible, you know, if I make it, Medicare discussions. Like, wow, that's crazy. Every day we just keep getting older. It's got to slow down. It's got to stop. I say we just stop. Quit getting older. Make the decree. I become president, I'm making the decree. Nobody gets any older. We stay right where we're at. And if we're too old, we can get younger. Make it happen. Oh, man. I was talking to one guy. He said, I used to think that 30 was old, then it was 40, then 50, then 60, then 70. He was in his 80s. He goes, I don't know what's old anymore. He did more at 80-something than most people do at 40. I mean, that's the way I want to be. I don't think I'm going to have that kind of health, but I hope. But the breakdowns are already occurring. I mean, I'm falling in parking lots. I'm getting banged up. Me and my wife, I told my wife today, I said, we're a pitiful pair. I mean, we are. My wife we was waiting on our son to get there, who's headed to work. I said, he'll be by. I said, I'll get him to help me. You know, I was like, my granddaughter was asking me, going to a football game, do you need help up now, Papa or Papa? Because I don't want you to suffer. I can't believe. I'm like, I'm not dead, child. I'm hurting. I'm sore. She's like, I know, but you know you're getting old. And she's giving me that little sympathy hug. She loves me to death. But it's like, I'm not old. 3 years, mine will change, I guess. 3 years, what, Medicare? Is that what it is? I just don't want to lose it. Oh, I tried to understand Medicare, but it gets confusing. I just don't want to lose it 3 years. Okay, be sure to get the Podbean app, man, because and we'll have her back. That's my hope, that we have an ongoing talk about Medicare. There's so many people don't understand it, and you got to understand those Part A, B, all that, you know, stuff. You just got to understand. And I know it's hard. The government makes it difficult, right? You know, when you get retirement age, I got you. Yeah, and that's why you got to find out, man. Those are important things to know. And you young people out there, it's going to totally change by the time you get there. So stay in touch with it. It's like election laws, you know, they change them. And you gotta stay up to date on it. Every year, you know, that's why tax professionals, they have to go to a class every year. Why? Changes. They make changes. Well, they do the same thing to Medicare. They change the crap all the time. Just when you think you got a good handle on it, they throw you a curveball. It's kind of like being a podcaster. That's the way the platforms do. You're like, oh, I got all this down. This is good. And they make a change. You're like, what the heck just happened? I thought I was doing good. You've made it hard. It's not fair. There's that word, not fair. Excuse me. Tomorrow the Dogs play Texas. Go Dogs. If you are a Texas fan, that's not a problem. We're dog fans, or at least I am, and Rob is, and we are rooting for the Dogs in this game. It's a late game. Go Dogs. I look forward to that. Today was National Pickle Day. Did you know that? National Pickle Day and National Spicy Guacamole Day and National Pajama Day. Did you wear your pajamas all day? And it was also National Seatbelt Day. So if you wore your pajamas, put your seatbelt on, and ordered some, I went and got you some pickles with some spicy guacamole, you knocked it out of the park on National Day today. The only thing I can say is I put my seatbelt on. I didn't wear my pajamas to work. I don't like pickles and I don't like guacamole. I certainly don't like spicy guacamole. So I only got 1 out of 4. I did wear my seatbelt. Yeah, join us in the morning about 8:30. Get your coffee, get the sand out of your eyes, kind of like, oh, get up. Me and Paul we'll try to be entertaining. The Cornbread Man and Biscuit Boy. We've got a song. I played it earlier. If you were here early, I played it. Cornbread Man and Biscuit Boy. It just kind of stuck. I love it. I'm excited we've got this Christian duo singing group coming in the studio. I'm interested in hearing their story. And I've told them that I want an ongoing, be an ongoing help to them and whatever I can and check in with us and all that. And they're really excited about this. And I'm so grateful. And how cool is it that in the future, I'm going to have the ambassador of fun is going to be coming on. I don't have a date yet, but I said, man, get in touch with me. And I gave him my card, and he's going to give me we're going to set that up here soon. The Ambassador of Fun. What a great title. I don't want to be no ambassador to Argentina or something like that. No. I want to be the ambassador of fun. That sounds like a thing I could really get into. Don't you have when you go to class, I say, okay, we're going to have some fun today. And they go, okay, first of all, we're going to do an equation that's going to take you about 30 minutes to get through. And you're on a timer, so get ready to go. And you're like, this is fun? This is not fun. Well, so for some people it would. Or they say, we're going to be, and he reads off the screen, everything that's on the screen. And it's like, mono, just very mono. Not it's like, today, this is a da-da-da. And you're like, trying to stay awake. That's not the ambassador of fun I'm talking about. I want to be the ambassador of fun where people go, hey, I'm having a great time. We were told we were boring. Maybe we are. I don't know. But my goal is to be the ambassador of fun on here. If you've noticed, I really don't like to get worked up, and I will from time to time, but I really don't like to get worked up into stuff. I just don't. I will fight against it because you know what? This is where I just come to enjoy my friends and to laugh and cut up and go on. I don't like this all serious stuff. Sometimes we got to be serious. We got to do adulting. I don't like it. I want to have fun. Sometimes it's not fun. You're like, oh, this is like pulling teeth. Everybody's so serious. They're mad. They're angry. They want to talk about the shutdown. They want to talk about this politician that's, fraud over here. I get it. We got to pay. I get it. Pay attention. I get it. But it's not fun. I like to have some fun. Oh, man. Uncle Jeb and Georgia Bubba, they like to have fun. They really do. And I want to be the ambassador of fun. I don't want to take his title. You want to be a coffee ambassador? That's a good one to have too. I could dig it. And now stepping forward, Michael, the coffee ambassador. Everybody claps. Yes, coffee. I seen this line earlier. Now listen, I could care less about Mandami. I don't care for that dude one bit. Not one bit. And I'm not going to get serious here. This is going to be funny. But I saw this headline that said Mandami is telling people not to go to Starbucks. He could save his breath. I don't go anyway. I don't even know what he said. I saw that and I went, check. I don't even like you, dude. But you know what? There's some good in everybody. Oh, National Eat Crystal Day. Okay. Followed closely by National Sit on Toilet Day. Like I said, I'm glad I live in the South because so many people, especially younger ones, often ask me if I need help because I'm walking kind of slow to senior discounts. Yes. I used to think, there were times in my late 40s, early 50s, they would go, do you get a senior discount? And I'd say, do I look like it? Oh, it's the new socialist mayor of Seattle. But I don't even know why, and I don't care. The Mr. Ambassador of Fun here, Junior, because somebody has that title. I don't go there anyway. They told me not to come back. They really did. I just listened to them. I'm not on a boycott. They told me not to come back. And, I thought, I really don't like your business anyway. Nothing against people that work there. Nothing against the products. The prices are high. The reason I don't go is because the guy said, if you believe in traditional marriage, we don't want your business. Salute. I don't need to go. I make coffee at home. I got coffee. I got 2 coffee pots back here. I get free coffee at work. I don't need them. I don't care. You know what? They have the perfect right to feel the way they want to feel. And I have a right to stay away. Salute. It's like I told you yesterday for not vent, but jack legs or whatever. I went to the drive-thru and I didn't like the lady's attitude. So I said, you know what? Never mind. I get ugly or nothing. I just said, never mind. I've changed my mind. You have a nice day. I drove off. I thought, I don't have to be treated like this. Why would I subject myself to someone's sour comment? I just thought, I don't like the way you said that. Don't know if they meant it that way, but it hit me kind of hard. And I was like, I started to, and I went, no, it's okay. The ambassador of fun says, I'll go across the street. So then I go over there. And I got she was nice, but Miss Debbie Downer. It's like I was trying to be positive, and it was like, yeah, I get that a lot, Oh, I don't know. This job's good for now. Oh, like Eeyore. You haven't bought coffee there ever. The only time I did, I was out of town. And the only reason I did, I was in Houston, Texas. And I was having trouble finding Wi-Fi. And I had to file some reports back with my laptop. And I didn't have a hotspot or nothing. So I went down and I looked up on the internet locally where's some Wi-Fi. It popped right up. So I went there. I bought the coffee. And that's a whole nother story. I went up and they go, what kind of a coffee would you like, sir? I said, a Colombian. They went, Colombian? Like you're wanting something in it? No, just a straight Colombian coffee. Black. Nothing in it. I don't know if we just served that. And they said, you can see the menu. And I was like, okay, I don't want flavor anything. I just want a light roast, not dark, light. But if that's all you got, I'll take that. Black coffee. Do you have that? I don't know. I'll have to check. It was like pulling teeth. And it was $4. And this has been a long time ago. $4. And then I found out I had to pay for the Wi-Fi anyway a little bit. It wasn't much, but I had to pay like $1.75 or something for the Wi-Fi. So, $5.75, but I thought, I'm getting the Wi-Fi. That's the last time I ever been. Well, I take that back. My granddaughter wanted to go through and get something, and I took her, because my deal is not her deal. So I went there, and she wanted to get the little pup or whatever for the dog, and I was like, I can't believe I'm doing this. So we did go there, and we got the little whatever they call it. The little thing. And I'm not a party pooper, if she wants to go, it's fine. But it was too expensive for me. I've always had strong enough signal on my phone to run a laptop. This is a long time ago. They wasn't running that kind of Wi-Fi, dude. I mean, a long time ago. This is before we really got into all this stuff. I'm talking a long time ago. Pop cup or what? I don't know what they call it. I really don't. I just know that the dog likes it. My granddaughter's happy. And it ain't all the time. It's like once every few months. She never asked me much on it. By the way, I was telling somebody today, I love my granddaughters, all of them. And the one that lives with me, she has had my influence, which could be a bad thing. But it's mostly a good thing, I believe. But between and she is like this. We have shopped together. And she may change later on, but I can tell you that she does not like shopping in stores forever. She gets aggravated with that. She cannot understand it. She's like, get in and get out. She goes, I like to shop with Pawpaw because we go in, we get what we need, and we get out. That's my granddaughter. And she is very conscious that things cost a lot of money. And she'll say, I like for her birthday or something. And she would say, I would like to have this for my birthday. If that's too much, then you can get me this. And then I'll give you a couple of things that are even just really cheap, like stocking stuffers for Christmas stuff. She's just two or three little things. She'll ask for one thing that's kind of like the $100 plus gift or whatever. And then everything else is very reasonable. She's very conscious of that we work hard for the money. Things are expensive. And she just gets that at 13 years old. She gets that. She's okay at shopping at the dollar store. She's okay with going to thrift shops. She's okay with, hand-me-downs. She's happy. It pleases her to no end to get something that is in good shape. She's like, we used to go to this place in Atlanta while we were down there doing ministry. And every once in a blue moon, we would run into something that was a great price. And my granddaughter would say, hey, this is great. It's $5, Pawpaw, and I've got 3 other outfits, ensembles that I can match with that. And that will give me 3 other things I can wear to church, just mix and match. She goes, it's great. She didn't ask for the moon, and I appreciate it about her. And I don't know if that's all my influence, but she's definitely like that. Yeah, he did. He did start it. I saw the thing earlier. He took the picture in the car. Santa. I'm just glad he could do it. He had health problems that one year and he couldn't go. He had to give it up for the year. So Santa was on IR and a stand-in Santa had to come in. He's off the injured reserve now and he's back on his post, pleasing kids by the hundreds or thousands. I guess it's thousands for the 30-something days straight that he does that or whatever it is. It's hard to imagine how close we are. He working to closing. Yeah, it's a lot of people sitting on your lap. I want this. Oh, it's a real gift to be able to do that. The best Santa I ever saw was a guy out in, again, it was Oklahoma City. Started to say Houston, Oklahoma City. And it wasn't even Christmas time. And he came in, he had the red overalls on. He had the beard, it was natural. He didn't have black boots on. And I found out later he ran a place called the Christmas Store. And it was Christmas supplies all year long. And he also used it as a ministry. And so he comes in, all the kids are going, hey, Santa just drove up in a truck. It was like a little Toyota or something. And all the kids are like, look, Santa drove up in a truck. He just got out. And it was a Burger King. And so he comes in and all the kids are going, Santa. And he's, hey kids, how you doing? And he comes walking around and he's getting out the little cards. So they would come to the shop. He's talking to the kids. And the card had something about Jesus on there too. So anyway, he comes over to our table. I will never forget this as long as I live. I've said it before, but I never get tired of repeating it. He comes over to our table. My wife was going, Santa. She's a big kid, I love her. She always loves Christmas. She's the biggest fan of Christmas. I love it. She goes, Santa. My sister's going, don't call him over here. She's all embarrassed. She goes, no, I want to talk to Santa. So she comes over. He comes over and he goes, what's your name, young lady? And she liked that he called her young lady. She goes, my name's Lynn. She goes, what's your name? He goes, Santa Claus. The look on her face. She's like, well, I asked. It's like, what did you think it would be? And she was trying to say, well, I know you're Santa. He goes, it's not Christmas time. I'm Santa all the time. That's my name. I'm Santa Claus. Here's my card. See, it has on there Santa Claus. It was hilarious. I gave the guy. I couldn't breathe. I was laughing so hard. My wife was going, shut up. I would have bought that guy's lunch if he hadn't already paid for it. I'm telling you. It was beautiful. He was very quick. What's your name? Well, Santa Claus. I mean, I don't know. What'd you expect, Bob? Oh man, we're gonna have to do an episode soon. One of those where if someone people you would know, like in entertainment world, sports world, whatever, around the world, leaders, whatever, what would they be if they weren't what they are? What job would they have? Those are hilarious. And I want to do that here soon. It's been on my mind to do it. We did that a long time ago. I remember we didn't get past about 7 people. We were laughing so hard. It might have been 10. I think we did 10. We might have got through the 10. But we had so much fun with that. We need to do it again. What job would this person have if they weren't, the lying leftist, woke individual they are? But it don't have to be that too. It could be, they could be a famous doctor or something, whatever it is. What would they be if they weren't that? That's fun. They look like an IRS accountant or something like that, and everybody goes, yeah, I can see that. I walked into the CPR class. This is a true story. Just happened about 2 months ago. And I couldn't remember if I had to be at the class. I was on the email, or the invite. I think it was just so I would know. But I ended up going. I stayed for part of it and even got credit. But I had been like a few months before that. I just been so busy I couldn't remember. Anyway, I walk in the door of the CPR class. Never saw this instructor before. And he goes, oh, we have a doctor in the house. And I went, what did he just say? There's a doctor? And I thought, why did he say that? So anyway, I didn't think about it. I'm signing off. I'm going around talking to people and everything. So he asked a question in the class. They'll ask questions. I knew the answer. So I said, he goes, I knew our doctor would know. And I was like, did he just say that again like I'm a doctor? And the guy goes, yeah. He said, you look like you're a doctor or something. So I look like a doctor? And so, and then like a third time it came up. He goes, doctor, you would know this. I know it because you're a doctor. I told the guy that set the class up, I said, I know he don't literally mean that I said that word literally. I'm a doctor. But I took it that he meant, well, I think he was referencing that I'm old and I look like I knew stuff. Well, first of all, Bub, I'm not old and I don't know anything. Somebody will say sometime, they'll say, you're a smart guy. And I say, man, I'm winging it. I've got them fooled. I don't know nothing. I'm just winging it. I just nod my head. Yes. Be confident in what you know, even if it's wrong. Confidence will get you through the door. A good clipboard, a hat, a friendly wave will get you in most places. Michael Keaton, paper chase. I think it was called paper chase. Anyway, he said that. No, and he was right. He's right. If you know how to approach, you can get in just about anywhere, even places you're not supposed to be, because sometimes guards are fooled by that. And they're like, that's why you got to watch. The enemy knows. The enemy knows. My good cousin, yeah, he's good. My cousin Ross Williams does a great job with the children. Awesome. Now, it's funny. I know there's some bad Santas out there. I've smelled the alcohol in their breath. I know this. But most Santas are good, and I think that. I really do. But however, I think that most clowns are not. I don't trust them. I would never want a clown at my kid's birthday party, ever, ever. I've never invited them. I don't want them there. I know there's some good ones, but I think most of them there's something weird going on. It's just my belief. I don't know why. I don't trust it. Too many have been exposed for their bad deeds. I don't want anything to do with clowns. That's why it's funny. I like the book. It came from a trailer park. That clown on the front of that. I was like, oh, this is going to be a great book. And that is. I've already started it, but it's not. It's I don't want to hang out with clowns. I don't make you feel uncomfortable. Maybe it don't. Maybe you're a clown. It's okay. I don't want to offend, but do you feel comfortable with clowns? Like, would you give if a guy said, hey, I need a ride to work, and he's in the clown suit, Are you okay with putting him in the front seat and riding down the road with the guy? Would you be okay with it? Like, or would you feel kind of weird about it? I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't, but I do. I just don't want it. I love that scene in Uncle Buck. The guy shows up and John Candy pops him. That's what I think happens a lot of times. The guys, they're just weird things, man. When I was a kid, I wouldn't never. And whoever thought the Easter Bunny dudes dressed up, that's a bad idea. That creature scares the heck out of kids. Santa can scare kids, but Easter Bunny, that dude's bad. Them eyes and all that, there's something weird going on with that. But clowns, when I was a kid, my parents tried to get me to shake the clown's hands and all that stuff at the circus and all that. I'm like, no way. No way. My antennas was up and going off. I'm like, I have nothing to do with that. Oh, I'm just having fun, but I do believe that. We got a few minutes left. Thank you for your support of the Southern Fried Podcast. Maybe we are on the boring side. I don't know. It's hard to know if you're boring. I try not to be. I just try to have a good time. Ambassador of Fun, Junior. I've never liked clowns, only rodeo clowns. I don't even like the rodeo clowns that much, man. I get what they're doing. I get it. I'm still not comfortable with it. But yeah, the regular clowns, I'm like, no. That's weird. Weird to me. I don't want nothing to do with it. I probably had an experience when I was a kid. I just don't remember it, but it's there. I really don't know that, like somebody creeped me out and it just, I don't know. I've never cared for them. Never. I don't think that I may be wrong. I don't think that I ever went and sat on Santa's lap either. I don't care for that. And I never liked it. My parents made me do Easter hunts. I didn't like that. And the only reason I didn't like it is because I don't like boiled eggs. I'd color them. I thought that was fun, but I don't like eating them. I would go look for the prize eggs. I'd leave all the others around. Why would I collect them? I'm not going to eat them. So I left all them on the ground. I was looking for the plastic one that had money in it. Especially Schumer the clown. Yeah, that's a good one. He is a clown. My gosh. He gets up there bloviating, I'm standing for the American people. They can look through and see the lies. And I'm thinking, yeah, they see you. Watchman for you. How are you, my man? Welcome to the party. Late in the party on a Friday night. Oh, there's some things in life that are creepy. And if my creep detector goes off, I'm out. I've always been that way. If I go in a restaurant, Dr. Cornbread, I like it. If I go in a restaurant and my gut tells me something don't feel right, I tell my family I'm leaving. I'm getting out. And they're like, what? We just got here. I'm like, there's something weird going on here. My gut tells me to get out of here and I'm leaving. I've done this more than once. I'll be like, no way. I feel it when I walked in the door. It's like an oppression. I'm like, no, I'm out. Y'all can stay if you want. I'm going to the car. I'll wait on you. It's fine. If you want to sit, I'm not sitting. I'm not staying. I'm not doing it. I listen to that small, still voice. I'm just getting out. Poor kids around here knew early on Santa was a joke before 7, 8 years old. Well, the spirit of Santa Claus is fun. Remember, we celebrate South Pole Santa here at the podcast. South Pole Santa, not North Pole. Be no Yankee Santas coming down here. South Pole. You see, that guy was better. He's never been really known. That North Pole Santa, he's a fraud, so he makes himself known. He like over markets himself. All the movies and stuff, all North Pole, right? How much have you heard about South Pole Santa? See what I mean? He's smarter. Southern ingenuity. He knew how to get the job done. Kids just didn't know. His sleigh don't break down. He don't have a reindeer with a red nose. He gave too many homemade gifts to believe in anything else. Well, the spirit of it, the giving and all that's fun. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, in that way, again, I was preaching one night. A clown walked in and sat down the back. Oh, man. Did your preaching get a little louder? Or you will go to hell. True story. South Africa. A friend of mine's doing a Passover Seder thing, teaching about that, all the different parts of it and all that. Elijah's cup. The place for Elijah. Nobody sits there. And right as he was talking about the cup and the seat that's saved for Elijah, to come and all. Anyway, if you know what I'm talking about, you know. The door opens on the church and a drunk stumbles in. He comes all the way down the church to the front. He sits down at the table in Elijah's seat. And because they were going to have a meal after this. And he actually was using a real chicken leg, whatever it was. I don't remember. The guy starts eating. He was drunk as Cooter Brown. And he said, the church is going, what in the world? He goes, well, I guess Elijah showed up this year. I mean, what do you do? This guy comes forward. Yeah, we'll have dinner together. Marriage supper of the Lamb, I'm looking forward to it. I believe with the new body, I won't be a picky eater. I do feel bad about that sometimes. Like, I appreciate the sacrifice people go through to make things, but some things I just can't eat. I can't do it. I told my son that one time. He said, I can't eat this. They left mayonnaise on it. I'm like, just wipe it off, kid. You can do it. Well, he tried. He threw up. As I was cleaning up the mess, trying not to vomit myself, I said, note to self, believe your kid on this every single time. He can't eat that stuff. I was just in a hurry. I'm like, just this one time, you can do it. It's all good. Eat the mayonnaise, wash it down with a lot of Coca-Cola, whatever. Well, it all came up. And I was having to clean it up. Like this. I told you, Daddy. I'm glad we won't remember things from our earthly life because I'd be missing coffee. Well, how do you know you're not going to have coffee? We might have a heavenly coffee. I don't know. I don't know. We'll still have coffee. I believe that. It's too good. Some say clowns came from the film spirit. Well, I don't know. I could buy it. I don't trust them. Whatever they came from, I don't trust them. If your daughter came home with a boyfriend, to the date to meet you, and he's dressed up as a clown, are you okay with it? Just asking. Are you okay with your daughter coming in, a guy? He's coming to meet you, and she says, "This is Chuck. Why is he dressed like a clown?" Well, he likes dressing up as a clown. He's a clown. He likes clowns. Are you okay with that? Do you pull the daughter to the side while you're ushering this guy out the door and say, date's over, bud? Are you okay with a guy going out with him? I'm just asking. I'm not telling you how to do. But are you okay with it? Hey, Dad, this is my date. We're talking about getting married. He's got the whole clown face going on. I think I'd be out. I do. Oh, my gosh. Well, that's the show tonight. I really need to go. I'm going to have to go pick up the granddaughter at the football game. There's a lot of drawings and entities from all around the world, and they have clown features. I get it, man. I ain't down with clowns. Hey, you have a great night. We'll see you in the morning if you can meet us up there or online. 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time at the Caffeine Addicts. Right outside there with a coffee in hand. It's going to be a great morning. I'm looking forward to it. And we'll also have another show on later, and we're going to do some videos, and we're just going to have a good time. Y'all have a great evening. Get some rest. Thanks for everybody coming in here, our new friends, old friends. Some of you we didn't even get to meet, but thank you for coming in. If I don't know your name because I can't see it, thank you for coming in on Instagram, and we appreciate you very, very much. I mean it from the bottom of our heart. And we're working hard every day to bring you some value and get stuff on here that will be of interest. And I love the guests that we've had on. I really do. And we've got some other guests coming like that. Follow us on Band. Just go download it. BAND. Follow the band. Join the band. Just look for the Southern Fried Podcast. I'll see the invitation. The request to join or whatever, and I'll approve that. You can follow us. So, they look like clowns. Yeah. All right. Good night. We'll go up with some music, and I've got to say, I got to go the granddaughter, and we'll see you soon. Take care. God bless. We love every one of you. Y'all pray for Rob. Pray for me. We'll certainly pray for you. If you have special prayer requests, send them in. Take care, my friends.
Sitting on the front porch on a Friday night with our friends. Life is good. Come on by and take a chair or lean on the rail. Let's have laughter and remember fun times on the front porch. Life is good. Sometimes life gets in the way. It's hard to smile on the front porch, but our friends remind us we are still here and care. Yes, life. Sitting on the front porch on a Friday night with our friends. Life is good. Thank you.